It's time. It's time for me to finally talk about it. 3 years ago, when I got back in the hobby, I made a trade for a Mike Trout card. Now that he's hurt again, I'm okay with finally talking about this card and why this was part of the worst trade that I ever made. Before I get into the details of this trade, let me give you a little backstory of what was happening at the time. I had just gotten back in the hobby. This is February of 2021. What happened was the Buccaneers had just won the Super Bowl. A lot of my friends were into Tom Brady cards, and there was a lot of card talk around in my area, so I got excited again. So, well, let me see what's going on in the hobby. I had been away for so many years, so I decided to go to a card show in Tampa in February of 2021, and I didn't know what to expect. I was just going to see if there was anything that would pique my interest, and I'm a baseball guy, so I started looking at cards, and I found a few that were really, I thought, great cards. I thought there was a lot of potential there, so I picked up a few cards that eventually were part of the deal. I went back the following month in March, and I picked up a few more cards that eventually became part of the deal, and I'm going to show you those in a minute. So I was feeling pretty good, and I thought, well, this is the way I operate, okay? Before, when I was in the hobby years ago, I've always been a very budget conscious collector, so what I used to do is I would buy cards at great deals, and I would try to move them to better cards, bigger and better cards, and you know, just level up. And that's what I had planned to do with these cards that I was picking up. I wanted to get something that I thought had a lot of potential. And at the time, talking to dealers and everything, the it guy in 2021 was Mike Trout. That's who everybody wanted, so that's the guy I kind of focused on and zeroed in on. And his 2011 Topps update was at its peak. You know, it was at over $6,000. I think it was at $6,500 or so at the time. So you know, I wasn't ready to level up to that point yet. You know, that's something that I was thinking down the road. So I figured, well, let me go after another Trout card that has potential. Started asking around, and one of the dealers kind of talked me into this card, the 2012 Topps Heritage Mike Trout. Now, this is a rookie year card, not a rookie card exactly, but he said that this was really popular, and I like the card. It has the 63 Topps design. I thought it was a good looking card, so I started looking for one of these. I went back in April of 2021 to another show, and I was ready to wheel and deal. Looked for this card. There were a few dealers that had it. They were right around the $700 price range, but I found this one. A dealer had it for $630. I thought, okay, well, this is something that I could probably try to get a deal with this guy. I asked him what was the best he could do, and being that it's so popular, he didn't want to go down too much on price, so he offered it to me for $580 cash, and I didn't want to spend that much on a card, so I thought, well, maybe, just maybe, he wants to trade. So I asked him if he was willing to, and he was. So without further ado, let's get into the details. This is how the deal went down. He had the Trout card, and he set it on the table, and I started pulling cards out of my fanny pack. You better believe I wear a fanny pack. I mean, look at my face. Look how happy I am. Now that's confidence. Or maybe I gave the dealer confidence. I don't know. Either way, here are the cards, and I'm having fun regardless, and they're ready for their big moment. Probably not the best move in hindsight, but here we go. These are the cards that I put down, and I'm going to put how much I had into each card, just to let you know my strategy and where I was at in my head when I was making the deal. The first one was a 2017 Topps Heritage Aaron Judge rookie at PSA 10. I had $45 into that card. The next one was a 2017 Topps Heritage Aaron Judge rookie, BGS 9.5. It was a true gem mint, and I had only $35 into that one. I had a Gleyber Torres 2017 Topps Holiday PSA 10. I had $20 into that one. A 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn rookie, BGS 8.5. I had $35 into that one. And I had a Cody Bellinger 2017 Heritage PSA 10. And I had $70 into that one. Now, that's what I initially offered, and the dealer said I was way off, and I had to sweeten up the deal, and I reluctantly had to add another card, which I had with me, and I didn't want to get rid of this one because I wanted to keep this one for my PC. It was a Ricky Henderson 1980 Topps rookie card and a PSA 6. That was a hot card at the moment, but I had $100 into that card, but I put that on the table, and he said we're still a little ways off. He said about $150 or so. And I didn't really have much cash. I had 115 bucks, so I told him, you can have all the cash I have in my pocket, which is 115, and he took it. So altogether, I had $420 worth of card and cash going towards this. So in my mind, I was thinking this is great because $580 is what he was willing to do for cash, but I can get that card for $420. So I was happy. We made the deal, shook on it. I walked away really happy. Like I said, I saved myself about $160 by doing a trade in cash. And I got rid of a lot of cards that I didn't really care to keep, except for the Ricky Henderson. And then I walked away with the card I wanted. The card that I thought was going to be a solid one to move off of and to level up to something even better than this. So that was the deal, guys. Initially, I was stoked, man. I really felt like I had fleeced the guy, to be honest with you. But when I got home, I noticed one thing, that on the back of the slab, it had a little crack right here, which kind of put a damper on things. I didn't notice it because when it was in the plastic, on the little protective plastic, I never took it out. So you couldn't tell. You know, I didn't notice that. So another lesson learned there, to take out cards out of these plastics because they could have a crack. I was still okay with it. People still going crazy over Mike Trout cards. If you guys remember, in 2021, he got off to a great start. So there was no doubt that I was going to be able to move this card. And I listed it on eBay for $750. And right when I thought I was about to make a deal, because there was so much interest, he went down with that calf injury. So I dropped it $100 to $650, hoping that somebody would bite, and someone did. Now here's the mistake I made. They offered $610 on it. But I had listed this on my backup eBay account, and I don't check it very often. So by the time I checked on it to see if anybody was submitting offers, the offer had expired. So I reached out to that buyer, telling him that I still had the card and that he could have it for $610. And I just had it, you know, I hadn't been on my eBay account. And he told me he'd purchased it from somebody else. So I missed out on that. And right at that time is when it was announced that Trout was gonna have season-ending calf surgery. So I knew this was gonna really plummet. So I sat on it waiting for other offers to come in, and it was all under $500. So I thought, well, maybe I should just hold on to it. He'll come back strong in 2022. And that's where my mind was at. I thought this was gonna get back to those levels of like $700 when he came back and showed the world how good he was again. But of course, as we know, that never happened. We know what also happened in the hobby. Prices started going down everywhere, especially for cards graded by Beckett. So this was like the perfect storm. I went from a huge high of getting this card that I wanted to now sitting on something that, as of today, this card could be had for about 60, 70 bucks maybe.
I just lost all my money.
Wow.
I lost all my money and it's all your fault.
A recent one just sold for 100, but that's because Mike Trout was leading the league in home runs, and there was hope that he was gonna have a big comeback season this year. But now that he's hurt, those hopes are all gone, and here I am 3 years later, still have this card, and to be honest, I really don't know what to do with it. Should I keep it? Should I sell it? Just cut my losses? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and get creative with it. You know, I'm willing to do whatever just to have fun and keep it interesting, and I'm willing to crack it out, you know, Kip Dynamite style. And submit it to PSA, but you know, I'm kind of scared of that because if it comes back a PSA 9, one just sold for 30 bucks. So, you know, there's always that risk. You know, now it could come back gem and that would be an easier card to move, but very risky. And I could just keep it in this slab. You know, this is kind of a relic now. You got a BGS slab, which is not very popular these days, and it's kind of symbolic because Mike Trout in 2021 started going down, and that's around the same time that Beckett value started going down. So it's kind of fitting that these two are together right here. So I learned a lot, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Not too much though. I appreciate you guys tuning in, hearing the details of this trade, and thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.